A new morning rises without knocking. Soft as breath on a sleeping window. Light stepping gently across the floor of night. Asking nothing, promising everything. The sky loosens its dark shawl. Thread by thread. Until blue peeks through. Like hope learning how to speak again. Birds test their voices. As if rehearsing faith. Each note a small declaration. I am still here. Dew gathers on leaves. Like quiet prayers. Polished by silence. Waiting to be answered by the sun. The horizon stretches its arms. Yawning after a long grief. And the sun arrives. Not loud, not proud. Just steady, just true. Streets wake slowly. Footsteps remembering direction. Doors creaking open. With stories tucked in their hinges. A cup of tea steams. Like a fragile cloud of warmth. Hands wrap around it. As if holding a reason to continue. Last night's worries. Sit tired in the corners. Their sharp edges softened. By this gentle arrival of light. New morning does not erase pain. It teaches pain how to breathe. It does not cancel the past. It places it gently behind us. Sunlight spills onto faces that forgot how to smile. And for a moment, even scars glow like maps of survival. The clock moves forward. Unapologetic. Yet the heart learns that forward can still be kind. Trees sway as if nodding. Agreeing with the day. Leaves whispering secrets. Only patience can hear. A child laughs somewhere. Thin and bright. Cutting through silence. Like truth through fear. New morning writes its name. On dusty windows. Inviting tired eyes. To read it slowly. Every shadow shortens. Every doubt loosens its grip. And the world remembers how to begin again. Even broken dreams stretch awake, rubbing sleep from their eyes. Unsure but willing. This morning does not rush us. It walks beside us, matching our pace, teaching us to trust steps again. Hope does not shout. It hums, low and steady, beneath the noise of memory. The air smells like possibility. Like rain that hasn't fallen yet. Like words waiting for the courage to be spoken. New morning says softly, you survived the night. And sometimes, that is miracle enough. The sun climbs higher. Not to conquer the sky, but to learn its limits. To touch each corner with care. Windows catch the light and turn it into stories. Each reflection a memory. Deciding to stay a little longer. Morning traffic hums like a chant. A moving prayer of lives in motion. Each engine carrying someone's private beginning. Faces pass by. Unknown yet familiar. All of them holding something unfinished in their eyes. A woman pauses at the roadside. Adjusting her scarf. As if aligning herself with the courage of the day. A man counts coins in his palm. Their cold weight honest. Teaching him patience. More than abundance ever could. Shops lift their shutters. Metal sighing against metal. As commerce and hope wake hand in hand. The scent of bread travels the air. Warm and forgiving. Reminding the hungry heart that effort can become comfort. New morning listens to footsteps on old roads. Recognizing those who almost gave up last night. Light enters classrooms. Resting on empty desks. Waiting for minds ready to wrestle with tomorrow. A stray cat stretches lazily. Its survival stitched from countless mornings like this. Each one a narrow escape. Dust dances in sunbeams. Tiny universes in motion. proving that even the smallest can shine when noticed. The past knocks softly, asking to be remembered. But the morning replies, later, first breathe. Trees carry rings of time, yet they welcome today. Without bitterness, without complaint, the sky changes its shade, minute by minute, as if unsure which blue best suits this chance. New morning is generous. It gives without asking who deserves it, or who wasted yesterday. A cracked wall glows gold, beauty finding places no one thought to look. Old songs return to lips, lyrics softened by age, still capable of healing small fractures inside. The heart tests its strength, lifting hope carefully, like something fragile, yet necessary. Somewhere, a prayer is whispered. Not perfect, not loud, but sincere enough to reach the edges of the day. Morning does not judge our pace, whether we run or crawl. It simply keeps the door open. New morning lays out time, like a blank road, with room for mistakes and unexpected turns. A pen meets paper, hesitating at first, then trusting the line it chooses to become. Dreams sip courage from sunlight, slowly warming, slowly remembering why they were born. Even grief loosens its coat, sitting beside us quietly, less heavy than it was. In the dark, new morning says again, without words, without pressure. Begin where you are. The day inhales deeply, drawing strength from the unseen, as if even time needs courage to move forward. Light settles on rooftops, on antennas and wires, turning ordinary outlines into quiet symbols of endurance. A clock ticks with patience, not chasing the moment, only reminding it that it is alive. New morning walks through alleys where shadows once ruled, leaving footprints of warmth no fear can fully erase. Hands wash sleep from their eyes, water carrying away the heaviness of dreams that refuse to end gently. The sky holds no grudges. Despite being darkened before, it opens itself again, wide and forgiving. An old man greets the sun, his back bent with decades, yet his smile rises straight, unbroken by years. A young heart trembles, standing at the edge of choice, feeling the weight of its first real decision. New morning does not rush advice. It lets silence speak first, trusting wisdom to arrive in its own rhythm. Puddles mirror the heavens, showing us that even the low places can hold the sky. Buses sigh at stops, doors opening like pauses, allowing stories to step in and out of each other's lives. The smell of earth lingers, a reminder of rain remembered, of storms that passed without taking everything. Sunlight leans on walls, resting, unafraid, as if it knows it belongs everywhere. New morning listens to the language of breath, counting survival, one inhale at a time. A mother straightens a collar, love disguised as routine, preparing her child for a world both kind and sharp. Shoes find their pairs, paths find their walkers, and uncertainty learns how to coexist with motion. The air carries unfinished sentences, thoughts not brave enough yet, but the morning keeps them safe. Even regret feels lighter, not forgiven, but understood enough to rest for a while. New morning is not perfect. It arrives with clouds too, but it teaches light how to share space. Windows open wider, letting the day inside, trusting it not to break anything. Somewhere, a letter is written. Words trembling with honesty. Finally choosing truth over comfort. The heart notices its own beating. Steady, persistent. Proof that hope did not abandon it overnight. New morning whispers. There is still time. And for a moment, the world believes it. The sun now stands more confident, yet never arrogant, sharing its warmth evenly, as if fairness were instinctive. Morning dust settles on shoulders, not as burden, but as proof of movement, of being part of the world. A radio murmurs old news, voices layered with urgency. Yet the morning filters fear, letting calm arrive first. Shadows retreat politely, not defeated, only agreeing to wait their turn again. New morning touches wounds gently, not to reopen them, but to remind them they are healing. A notebook lies open, pages pale with expectation, waiting for courage to introduce itself. Water boils, whistles, a small celebration in kitchens, where ordinary acts become anchors of life. The street vendor arranges fruit, colors glowing like promises, each piece a quiet negotiation between effort and reward. Morning teaches balance, how to hold yesterday without letting it spill into today. A bicycle glides past, its bell ringing softly, like time politely asking for space. New morning believes in repetition, knowing practice is how faith becomes steady. The sky hosts drifting clouds, each one shaped by invisible decisions, just like us. Footsteps echo on stairwells, carrying ambition, fatigue, and the faint courage to keep going. A bird builds its nest again, trusting fragile twigs, trusting height, trusting the day. New morning forgives hesitation. It understands pauses, knows that stillness is also movement. The air feels wider now, lungs expanding with relief, as if the body remembers its original design. Someone pauses to pray, someone else to think. The morning welcoming both, without comparison. Light slips through curtains, drawing soft lines on walls. Art made by nothing more than existence. New morning carries patience in its pockets, offering it freely to those who ask quietly. A smile appears unexpectedly, not forced, just discovered, like spare change of joy. The day does not promise victory, only participation, and somehow that feels enough. New morning stands beside us, not ahead, not behind, saying simply, walk with me. A soft breeze drifts through open doors, carrying the smell of distant rain, of soil remembering its own life, and the promise of growth yet unseen. Children's laughter bounces off walls, light as wind chimes, reminding everyone that joy can arrive uninvited. New morning does not hurry. It knows the value of pause, how even hesitation can lead to something worth keeping. Laundry flutters on lines, clothes dancing in sunlight, each movement a tiny celebration of existence. The street hums with motion, but also with quiet determination, as if every small act is part of an unseen prayer. Old letters sit on desks, their edges curling, bearing words of past hope. Some answered, some not. New morning whispers to the heart, you may be broken, but you are not finished. A stray dog pads along the pavement, its eyes curious, cautious. Learning again. That trust can be found in fragments. Sunlight warms the faces of strangers, turning brief glances into unspoken connections, threads in a larger tapestry. The aroma of coffee drifts from cafes of life. Somewhere a clock chimes. Not to hurry anyone, only to acknowledge that time is present, not passing unnoticed. A man ties his shoes. Small ritual of readiness. While the day waits politely, offering itself as companion. New morning teaches endurance. Not in grand gestures, but in the subtle insistence of continued light. A stray cat curls on a windowsill. It sleep deep, unbothered, trusting the day to keep its promise. Footsteps echo in empty alleys. And yet the silence is not lonely. It carries the memory of countless beginnings that came before. New morning hums through the air. A tune too soft to catch at first, but persistent enough to be remembered. Someone lifts a child's hand, their fingers entwining strength and vulnerability, held together in a single breath. Sunlight catches the edges of leaves, turning veins into golden rivers, showing the quiet artistry woven into life itself. New morning does not judge effort, nor measure failure. It simply arrives and lets the heart meet it in whatever form it can. A pen hovers over blank paper and finally moves, words spilling slowly, trusting in their own small courage. The city hums beneath the light. Shops opening, wheels turning, life asserting itself in countless quiet ways. New morning whispers to those who listen. Keep walking, keep believing. Even if your steps feel unsure. A breeze turns a corner of a page, and a story left unread starts to speak to someone new, finding ears that finally hear. Sunlight stretches across walls, leaving traces like fingerprints, marks of its passage, proof that even fleeting things can leave evidence of life. New morning gathers fragments, broken thoughts, tired hands, weary hearts, and knits them into something steady, something alive. Even the shadows soften now, leaning quietly against walls, no longer threatening, but coexisting with the gentle insistence of light. The morning air hums quietly, a gentle vibration felt more than heard, carrying the subtle promise that the day will not abandon us. A child's shoes tap on the pavement, their rhythm unpracticed but brave. Each step a tiny declaration that life continues despite doubt. New morning bends over quiet streets, touching doors left ajar, leaving warmth in places that forgot it could exist. The sun climbs steadily, casting light into corners where shadows once lingered, softening the edges of yesterday's mistakes. Someone breathes deeply at a window, fingers tracing condensation, watching the world wake, wondering what it will offer today. New morning is patient with hesitation, tender with fear, showing that progress need not be loud, only persistent. A bird hops across a branch, its tiny claws balancing on the fragile edge of possibility, teaching courage in the simplest gesture. The aroma of fresh bread floats through streets, inviting tired hearts to remember that sustenance and care can arrive together unannounced. New morning listens to the murmurs of the world, collecting whispers, laughter, sighs, and carrying them forward like precious cargo. A man straightens his tie, preparing for the day, not knowing what it will hold, but trusting his own small steadiness. Sunlight falls across rooftops and walls, painting ordinary objects golden, showing that beauty is rarely grand, but always present. New morning touches everything softly, even pain, not to dismiss it, but to remind it that healing is possible. A pen scratches across paper, thoughts emerging slowly, as if the ink itself understands the weight of beginnings. The city breathes, in and out, carrying the pulse of unseen lives, a symphony of quiet persistence. New morning asks nothing, yet offers everything: possibility, patience, courage, and the small miracle of another chance to continue. Someone smiles at a stranger. A brief collision of light and hope, and the world, for a moment, feels less heavy. Shadows lengthen slightly as the sun rises higher. Yet they no longer intimidate. For light has taught the